All right. Good, good, good. Test one, yes. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here, for being present in the miracle work togetherness. That's really great. So we go and start today and with an idea of prayer, but not just prayer like prayer. And so we're going to look at the idea of prayer and why is it so important in the miracle work? Because it is like the prayer is the medium of miracles. And so miracles happen, we know that. Miracles happen, so things are shifting into, say, in a vertical direction instead of a horizontal way of trying to work things out. So the miracle is always like the other option, the other option. But when do you need another option? So you need another option. First of all, and I'm actually spilling my beans already, it's like you need an option when you're in a place where it's necessary to have another option. If you are in alignment with the truth of who you are, why would you need another option? There's no need for it anymore. So it's a temporary device. As the miracle is a temporary device. So it's only needed in a place where there is in fact a mistake, where there is something that has nothing to do with reality. So the miracle is really like your other option when you find yourself in a limited perspective. What is a limited perspective, you ask? I'm doing this step by step today. So what is limited perception? Or what is a limited idea? A limited idea is everything, in fact, based on perception. So, as long as you perceive and all that, feel, touch, see, hear, all that, as long as you have that as your reference to what you think your reality is, you need a miracle. So who is in need of a miracle? I am. Who is the miracle? I am. You are the miracle. How can that be possible that you are the miracle? It is, of course, that you are the alternative yourself. So that goes too quick. So today I'm going to try to put this together in a way that is going to be acceptable to you. And but see, the fundamental thing is you only need miracles in a place where they're actually useful. Beyond that, why would you need a miracle for? You know, like that. Like if I'm completely realizing my true self, what do I need a miracle for? So, but I can still give them away. So that's really great. So a miracle sometimes is being said as a thought. You know, a miracle is a thought. A miracle is an idea. A miracle is something that can just shift you out of the limited perspective that you were in just a moment ago. And so practicing that. So we're going to say bring some miracle principles in, especially the one, of course, that is related to prayer and miracles. There's one specifically, and I hope it's in this book that I have, like the Miracle Healer's Handbook, which is you can download as a PDF. I can send it to you if you don't have it. It's a great book. So let me see. Just to start with some miracle principles. Miracles reawaken the awareness that the spirit and not the body is the altar of truth. Miracles reawaken the awareness that the spirit and not the body is the altar of truth. This is the recognition that leads to the healing power of the miracle. See, this is all essential stuff. So, for the ease of it, I'm just bringing you to the point like that you start to recognize I need miracles because I find myself in a place that is not real. So I only need miracles in a place where I believe perception has value and has literally gives information to me. As long as I'm in that place, I need miracles to take me literally out of that, to really allow healing to occur. So that's why, for the ease of it, like I said, we recognize that we're in a place where we actually need miracles. Because the next step was, when I realize who I truly am, I don't need a miracle because I'm already in the right place. So not to become too occupied with it. That's why I'm saying it. It's like you don't have to become preoccupied with the idea of miracles. No, they bring you to a certain place. They lift you out of where you thought you were. And then you realize, oh yes, wow, this feels so much more natural. And this is the truth of who I am. You come by practicing this. In fact, by practicing the miracle work, by going through your transformation, you end up in a place where you realize, here I am, this is all that is. It has nothing to do with my perception or my ideas about what I see and think, but it has to do with my beingness. And this is what I am. So it's a temporary device, like I said. A miracle is also like a universal blessing from God through me to all my brothers. It is the privilege of the forgiven to forgive. Aha, forgive. There it is again. Miracles are natural signs of forgiveness. Through miracles you accept God's forgiveness by extending it to others. Through miracles you accept God's forgiveness by extending it to others. So what does need God to forgive then? Interesting. So we come back to that later. Miracles praise God through you. They praise Him by honoring His creations, affirming their perfection. They heal because they deny body identification and affirm spirit identification. We heard that in the first one too. Miracles reawaken the awareness that the spirit and not the body is the altar of truth. This is the recognition that leads to the healing power of miracles. So, and then there was one, see if it's in here, I don't know for sure. This is the one that has to do with prayer. Yeah. Prayer is the medium of miracles. It is the means of communication of the created with the Creator. It is the means of communication of the created with the Creator. Through prayer, love is received, and through miracles, love is expressed. So this is really good to know too, especially today in what we're looking at. Prayer is the medium of miracles. It is a means of the communication with the created and the Creator. Through prayer, love is received, and through miracles, love is expressed. So, and that is in that sense clear. You know, through miracles, love is expressed. It's like it's literally demonstrated through miracles. If I come with you today in the recognition of the place that we actually are one, that we love each other like just completely, recognizing that that's the natural state of us, then we made really some progress. You know, that's really some progress. So the miracle is the expression of that, my love for you, I give that to you. I give that to you without any expectations, without anything else. No, it's more the recognition that we're one. So I recognize, I literally see myself reflected in you, and recognize that I'm one with you in the recognition of our, say, same, we have the same creator, we have the same God that created us. And in that sense, we're one with one another. There's only one of us. So when I come in the realm of, when I recognize my oneness with you, I recognize that there literally is only one of us. It is a state of love. It is your natural state. It is the state beyond selfhood. Now we're making a full circle here in a moment. So that there is only one of us goes like 180 degrees against the idea of perception. Because perception will always show you that you are there and I'm here and this is me and that is you. That in that body you are you. In this body located here is me. So there's a separation, perceptual separation. We really think, we really respond, we really say, make this real to ourselves all the time, that we're separate in a physical form, thinking that that is like, well, you don't love me anymore, you walk away from me, and you think that this one is gone and that you're not related anymore, that you're separated, that you are there and I'm here, and yeah, hopeless situation, so painful. Like, it has nothing to do with love, of course. So now here comes the forgiveness, forgiving yourself what you were thinking, forgiving yourself what you are perceiving, allowing yourself to receive new idea about it, allowing yourself to have a new experience related to this, your other option. Like I said in the beginning, it's like the miracle is your other option. The one option that you cannot think of, but that will affect everyone. Everyone. Like I recently went through many of those. Like suddenly you see, oh my God, not trying to solve the problem, not doing anything, standing right here, you know, not moving an inch, just stand right here and be patient. Relax, be patient. It will be shown how this all falls into place. You have no idea. It can be discombobulating for a moment. You can be confused for a moment, even for days maybe. That's all right. But you are not going to come up with a solution to the problem that you're perceiving because your perception is wrong. Like you miss it. Your perception is based on ideas that something can be separate and it isn't. So that's the real miracle work. You stand still, you be patient. You're not trying to fix it. You're not doing anything with it but giving it away. Forgiving yourself for that, what you perceive. And you're recognizing that it is not true. It is not a reality. So that means it also has no, say, substance. It can change in an instant. And when it changes, when you see that it is not it, and something else is there for you to perceive, to experience really, not so much perceive, because the perception can still be completely the same. It can all still look completely the same, but the connectedness, the oneness is recognized in the moment, you know. Suddenly you feel that you can breathe again. Suddenly you feel your connectedness and how much love you feel for your brother or for whoever is with you. It's like whoever is around you, wherever this situation has to do with. It's like the perception doesn't necessarily need to change, but what's below that completely 180 degrees changed. And it's like suddenly there's the recognition of oneness. Suddenly I recognize, oh, I'm so happy. I really thought I lost my love, and here it is. You know, it's like that. It's like, here it is. And that is so amazing. I didn't do anything for it to be changed. I literally did nothing, except I used say, you could say like prayer. I used prayer. I used coming to my still place and connecting with my Creator, experiencing love and gratitude. Like, oh, thank you, God. I can just sit here. I'm not gonna do anything, but I'm just gonna sit here and accept this for myself. I'm connecting with my source, and that changes everything. And I'm not doing this to let it be changed, or I'm not doing this to say consciously try to twist it into the situation that I would like. No, I'm staying right here, allowing even the perception to be completely the same. But underneath is the biggest change that is occurring. And then the perception might change again, it might not change, it doesn't even matter. But healing took place, and it looks completely different in your experience of yourself. So that's why it's so important to say, to use prayer as the medium for miracles. It's like, it's the best way to do it. You can say like sitting still, not trying to solve it, standing still, or just only connecting within yourself. Like, okay, so help me to perform the miracles that I'm supposed to perform today. I have no idea how that's going to look. I have no idea how to do that. But one thing for sure is that the problem that I perceived, I will not solve for myself. I will not solve it. I will let it just be. So that's a huge lesson. So then, when one of the miracle principles, there's being said like God's forgiveness. So that's interesting that it's in there, right? It's like, what does God need to forgive? God doesn't need to forgive anything. So what is that then? I will read it again. It's like, what actually is that then? That if it says God forgive. I'm not sure if I can find it back. That's always the problem with looking back at things. Yeah. Miracles are natural signs of forgiveness. So, okay, I'll stop here for a moment. Miracles are natural signs of forgiveness. Why is that? Miracles are natural signs of forgiveness because it is when you forgive that what you've perceived. You give up your right. You know, your right is then, I know what I've seen. I know what you have done. It's like, no, wait. That is not what is occurring. So you literally forgive yourself, your own perception. Suddenly there's space in your mind for something else, for your other option to come to you, right? So that's the miracle. So that's a natural sign of forgiveness. Through miracles, you accept God's forgiveness by extending it to others. So, God's forgiveness, you can say like, it's just you establish your conscious relationship with God, your conscious communication with God. That's being established again. From that forth, your love extends to your brother automatically. So what is the role of God in this? It's like, well, he's the true connection. He's the context in its completedness, like where this is taking place. That is what that is. So the forgiveness part is then more like nothing happened. It's right here, and you are connected with your brother. So by me realizing that, suddenly I extend that to my brother and recognizing my oneness with him. And enjoying the love that suddenly is available, that everything is open again, that my heart opens up again, and that I can breathe again, that I can see like, yes, Absolutely. Oh, why would I want to hold on to my ideas? Why would I want to hold on to my perception? For what? For what did I do that? What is that going to do to me? Except binding me. So that's really great too. I think we're almost done here with the miracle principles. Well, they continue in the third chapter of the book, Retraining the Mind. We're there. Retraining the mind. And this time we continue on a part that we got into, one of the other miracle works. Excuse me. Take a sip of this. And that is the loss of certainty, G. Chapter 3G, loss of certainty. But at the place of G6 it says this: prayer is the medium of miracles. And here, listen carefully. Prayer is the medium of miracles, not because God created perceptions. You know, so it's like, no, again, it has nothing to do with perception. No, forgiveness and perception are related. Miracle is already your other option out of your perception, because God created you. So prayer is the medium of miracles because God created perception. Not because God created perceptions, but because God created you. Right? At the beginning of this course, we said that you are a miracle. Therefore, the miracle worker is a miracle not of his own creation. You are the miracle. The miracle worker is a miracle not of his own creation. Unless perception rests on some knowing basis, it is so unstable that it doesn't mean anything. Knowing is not open to interpretation because its meaning is its own. It is possible to interpret meaning, but this is always open to error because it involves the perception of meaning. All of these wholly needless complexities are the results of man's attempt to regard himself both as separated and unseparated at the same time. And I thought that was a great sentence. It's like, look at yourself. The way we can do this right now, it's like, look at yourself. You know, like somewhere you know that you're completely one with God. At the same time, you can totally feel yourself separated off from what's occurring, even here. It's like you can completely be in your own little bubble, thinking that whatever's said to you, even though you know there's something in you that is oneness, you know, and you've heard more than enough to know it must be somewhere. But for you, it is still possible to have those two states right next to one another in the moment that you're like in relationship with your brother. Like that is so amazing. So you think there's a possibility of a split mind, of something that is recognizes its oneness and also sees itself as separate. It's like that's schizophrenic. and it's acceptable. It's acceptable to you. You say like, well, it's just part of it. It's just necessary. It needs to be that way. So it's like, well, yeah, I know better, but it's like, no, wait a minute. Why don't you let this cross over, so to speak, from 2 to 1? Why do you allow this state to be normal to you? It's not necessary. So it's like that takes a bit of retraining. That's why it's in this chapter too. It's like it's retraining the mind. So there was something else, like you are the miracle, but you did not create yourself. And why is that so important? See, there's all little bit of background miracle work that we do here. Why is it so important to realize that you are not self-created? Well, it establishes you as the effect of a cause, and that makes everything different. And that direction, say, you need in your attitude towards the things that are occurring. As long as you recognize that you made yourself, if you think that you make yourself, let me say it like this, it's like if you think that you make yourself, still, it's like you still make yourself into something or define yourself as something, then you're still in the self-identification moment of yourself. That means that you don't recognize who actually created you, and that he did a perfect job. And also that, say, the separatedness of the selfhood that you still treasure then is in the way for you to experience your oneness and completedness in the present moment, given to you in every moment by God. So this is why we need miracles. Like, you are the miracle, but you think you can be something else too. That is the problem. So there's another option in your miraclehood, so to speak. There's another option for you in your insanity, thinking that you can be separated off from God and be the miracle at the same time. So when this comes together closer and closer and collapses into one, then you literally recognize that you're not making yourself, that you did not create yourself. And also, because creation is eternal, it's continuous, it is not something that stops. So it's a creative principle that you are, but you don't create yourself. This is the same as saying like your will and the will of God are one, and thinking that you have a separate will from God would be then the same split-mindedness as that is bothering you in your situations right now. Thinking that, and you perceive something, and you know better, and you cannot combine the two. And you try to hold on to one of them for a moment, then you switch over and go into this direction. Like that is going on with the human mind and the ones that chose to awaken from this. Like at a certain point, it's like there's a fork in the road. So it's like, now you gotta really know what you want. It's like, are you still treasuring the other path too, that you want to be a separate identity? And even though you know it's painful, you want to still be with that and keep repeating that to yourself, confirming its reality to yourself? Or are you willing to let yourself, allow yourself to collapse into the truth of you? So this is continuously, in fact, the tension that you feel that makes you so tired and so torn and so conflictual and so alone, or so conflict is the best word, I guess. It's like, wow. So here comes then the prayer part in. So we read about that later on too. It's like the prayer part is then taking time to connect with your Creator, recognizing that you do not make yourself, recognizing that you need these quiet times to come to yourself. And why does that always feel good? Like there's never something going wrong with that. It is because it is natural. It's like this is a natural way of coming in touch with your Creator. It's happening right now. Oh, thank you, God. I can come to you. Oh, you're my, wow. You're my home. This is, yes. And then something creeps up in your mind again and tries to tempt you to go out and make this world a place, confirming your perceptions and trying to up to the next quiet time, that you allow yourself to sink back into the comfort of this, what is really true about you. So you have to allow yourself that you jump back and forth to that, like on a daily basis. You switch many times, like, oh God, what did I get myself into? Oh, it's so good to be quiet. There are not so many varieties. So it's like, as soon as you step out of the real comfort zone and you step out of it, you're in the middle of fear. And you think that you have to deal with it, and you try to solve it, or you try to find a way that it is doable or something like that, until you return back to your real comfort zone. So this is why self-forgiveness is important, and forgiveness has only to do with your perception. Like I said, it's like it's only necessary for that part that's related to perception. That's all. So you don't have to forgive God. This is great. Okay, so all of these, and this was the sentence I was referring about, all of these wholly needless complexities, I repeat, needless complexities, they're needless complexities, are the result of man's attempt to regard himself both as separated and unseparated at the same time. It is impossible to undertake a confusion as fundamental as this without engaging in further confusion. Also clear. So that's only one paragraph from this chapter. So I continue at G10 on page 48 of the Urtext manuscripts. So prayer is a way of asking for something. When we said that prayer is the medium of miracles, we also said that the only meaningful prayer is for forgiveness. Because those who have been forgiven have everything. Once forgiveness has been accepted, prayer in the usual sense becomes utterly without meaning. Essentially, a prayer for forgiveness is nothing more than a request that we may be able to recognize something we already have. This is interesting. A prayer for forgiveness is nothing more than a request that we may be able to recognize something we already have. That's so beautiful. So prayer is a way of asking for something, but if everything is given you, there's nothing to ask for anymore. So the only useful prayer is then for forgiveness. What is forgiveness again? Forgiveness has to do with your perception. You have perceived something and it is not a reality. So the forgiving then is letting that idea go, giving it away, letting that idea go so a new perception can come to you, a new idea can come to you. In fact, you ask for, please let my stubbornness get out of the way in order to receive the miracle that's right here. You know, it's like that. Because you hold on to something. So sometimes you don't even recognize it, of course. That's why you need help. So you recognize or not recognize that you're holding on to something and it doesn't feel good, and you give it away. And you ask for forgiveness, for that opening to be given to you. So this is pretty plain in that sense, but this is only the essence of it. So the practical application is just a matter of being aware a lot that this is what is going on. So recognizing yourself, for instance, this would be a really good exercise, recognizing for yourself that you're actually continuously accepting the fact that there's a whole you and there's a separated you, and you think that the two can coexist. And you become more and more aware of that, up to the point that it's really like annoying to you, that it's so in your face. It's like, why am I choosing to do that? I'm literally hurting myself. For what? There's no reason for it, but why do I do that? It's unbelievable. Instead of, like I said in the beginning, it's like sinking down, not moving an inch, not trying to solve anything, just coming to the place where you start to recognize, oh my God, I'm actually in communication with God. There's nothing else occurring than God is pouring love over me. I don't have to make this work. I don't have to do anything. The only thing that's necessary for me is to recognize that my perception is not right, and I'm directly in communication with God. I want to feel that. I'm going to take time to feel just that and forget about the rest. So this is sufficient to have this love extend to your brother in your recognition of your oneness. It extends to your brother, it changes everything. Suddenly, even, like I said, the perception might not even change, but your experience of what is going on has completely changed, because that is on a totally different level. So that's why it's so important not to, say, put too much attention to the perception, or what others do, for instance, or what, especially that, what others seem to be doing, if they're doing something already different, because then the change has occurred. Like, no, that might not even be visible for you at all. It doesn't matter. So when you recognize your oneness with your brother, you feel that something has changed, because you were not able to feel that in the moment of conflict. You were actively denying it. So that is forgiveness, and that is the practicality of this. All right. So we continue. Let me see. Oh yeah, just for the clarity, why not? In G12 it says this here. Perception is impossible without a belief in more and less. Unless perception at every level involves selectivity, it is incapable of organization. In all types of perception, there is a continual process of accepting and rejecting, of organizing and reorganizing, of shifting and changing focus. Evaluation is an essential aspect of perception, because judgment must be made for selection. So this is what you do. It's like in all types of perception, there's a continual process. It's like of accepting, rejecting, organizing, reorganizing, shifting, changing focus, like completely shifting the focus. Oh, totally in a different direction. Oh yeah, that's much better. So you try to do that. And that has everything to do with perception. It has to do with a duality, otherwise it would not exist. Like, otherwise you would not even be able to see it. So you see things by contrast, like perception. For instance, you can see my face, it's lighter than my shirt. So now, boom, there's my face. And that you see it, and you see it in the background too. Here's light, there's dark. This is what perception does. It's like it needs polarities. It needs duality, in fact, for it to exist. And you know the true nature of duality is that it is not what it appears to be at all. So, but it's also good to realize. So when you start to shift your focus, when you start to do all kinds of things like comparing, analyzing, um, yeah, doing that, you know that you're in the realm of perception, that you think that the differences make a difference for you in order to solve something, and that is not true. So this is how we do this. So that was just like a basic recognition of what perception actually is. It's like it is impossible without a belief in more or less. So you really believe in duality, otherwise you would not perceive anything. So this is why I said too, it's like in the change, in the miracle that can take place, the perception might not even change. It really doesn't matter anymore. That's the most essential thing. Like it doesn't matter anymore. Finally, you just come to your own realization of your connectedness, extending that by recognizing it. And that is all. You know, that makes it very still. So then, oh, the whole world is collapsing or whatever, whoever is running away or whatever appears to be going on, this is where you find yourself. Like that's why you see, we probably read this prayer, it's like, I am in danger nowhere in the world. I'm in danger nowhere in the world because of this, you know, because of this safe place in me, in my true comfort zone. Like it's right here. It is not depending on anything, not depending on what I hear, what I see, none of that. No, this is just me becoming still in my recognition. I'm the miracle. You know, that is me being the miracle. I have a song of it. Let me play this song. That's funny. That's great. I just recognized it. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I have a song. I'm going to play that for you.
I am in danger, nowhere in the world. I can't be threatened, I can't be turned away from the heaven where I abide secure. I am in danger, nowhere in this world. No storms can come to shake me, for love will not forsake me. No lies can ever break me into pieces again. No sticks, no stones, no blamings, no sad and senseless ravings, no shallow worldly cravings can cause me suffering and pain. I am in danger, nowhere in the world. I can't be threatened, I can't be turned away from the heavens where I abide secure. I am in danger, nowhere in this world. And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Your rod and thy staff, they comfort me. They comfort me. How can I fear or falter, or doubt or fail to know that I am not endangered, I won't find sorrow when I am safely sheltered beneath the wings of grace? I belong to you, beloved, forever and always. I am in danger, nowhere in the world. I can't be threatened, I can't be turned away from the heaven where I abide secure. I am in danger, nowhere in this world. Nowhere in the world. Nowhere in this world.
Wow, thank you. Awesome. Thank you for letting me share that with you. That's so great. So, thank you. So where can you be safe then? If there's this world that doesn't seem safe at all, so where can I be safe? There's only in one place, and you know that place. So it's like the end of your perception, the end of your dualistic thinking, it's the end of your conflict with yourself, it's the end of your selfhood, it is the end of all of that. Recognizing that there's only one place where you can be, really be, and the rest is just conflict. Like, wow. So that is a recognition. There's a recognition, and the next step is it's also your declaration that that is the place where you are, and that's the place where you stay, and that's the place where you go, and that's the place that is for you. No matter what appears to be, no matter how this is going to look, no matter what seems to be going on, none of that matters, because that is just perception, and you forgive that perception. You collapse into your selfhood with a capital S, and say, extend the love that you are in recognition of the oneness with your brother in God. You know, so this is the mechanism of it, and this is in fact the secret of it. I actually shared the secret of it to you. So, great. So thank you for listening to this, being here with me, actively participating in this, feeling your presence. It's really great. So thank you for that, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.